And welcome back. Oh, we're back on Project X, otherwise known as our 2012 Red Ram here. And I figured I'd bring you along. And what we're going to do today is program in another set of these fobs, very similar to what we did on the 2009. Now, these are the generic fobs that you can get off Amazon. They're super cheap in comparison to an OEM fob. And on our 2009, it seemed to work just fine with no issue. So we're going to try that again on our 2012, because once again, when the 2012 came from the auction place, it only came with the one key. On top of that, since this vehicle did come from auction and there have been other owners for this vehicle, we also want to check and see how many other keys have been or are currently still active to be able to start and run this vehicle. And then just like on the 2009, we'll go through and erase all those keys and program in a set that we know of. That way we know where, all those keys are located. Let me see if I can straighten you up there. There we go. So I've got you zoomed in on our Xtool D8. And just to go ahead and address some concerns up front, because I've got some feedback on some previous videos, but just to alleviate any concerns, you'll notice there's no pending updates. Went through it and did all the pending updates for this. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. I've already got it plugged into the ODB2 port. Now, the first thing we need to do, just like we did on our 2009, is that we need to make sure that that this Xtool will read the PIN number, because we have to have that security PIN number in order to program a new set of fobs. I also have, and I'll show it to you here at the end of the video, I also have a battery maintainer on the truck, so that way the truck does not lose power while we're in the process of doing this, because that could potentially be bad. So I'm just going to put the key in the on position, but I'm not going to start it. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into special functions and see if we can read the pin. I'm going to go take care of one thing outside the vehicle, and I'll be right back. One moment. Okay, and I'm back. So what I did there, and I'll explain why, is I unplugged the fuel pump bypass cable that you've seen in a previous video, because what has happened is the fuel pump and the fuel pump relay on the TIPM of this particular truck has failed, and they're using the bypass. And what that means is anytime the key is in the on position, the fuel pump has fuel. Now, not that it would have caused any issue, I just didn't want the fuel pump to run an extended amount of time without the engine running. So that's what I was undoing. So there we go, we got the key in the on position. Waiting for it to calm down here, and I'm just going to come into special functions. Yep, tire pressure system, we know that. Come into key programming. Yes, we do agree to the terms of service. And we are looking for Dodge. Select by vehicle. And we're going to come into a Ram. And this is a 2012, so I'm going to pick the 2006 to 2013. There we go. Now, first thing I'm going to do is see if we can read the pin. There we go. 4669er. Got it. Beautiful. Now, let's see number of keys. 4. So there's 4 keys, once again, just on this Ram, just like there was the 2012, of which we only have 1. So with there being 3 pending other keys out there that can start this vehicle, that's one of the issues that we want to address. So 4 keys, once again, read pin 4669er. So if I go into erase key, 4669er, do OK. Successfully erase. I got a blinking security light on the dash now because it's annoyed at me. So now what we're going to do is say program blank key, switch the ignition to the off position, insert key, and switch to on. So we're going to do that now. So we're in the on position. Okay, number of keys, procedure complete. We got 1. So we're going to say program a blank key again. Again, we're going to turn this off, ignition off. I'm going to take our second blank fob, do the same thing. So hopefully you can hear that ding. Our ignition is on. Then we're going to say OK again. Security light still flashing at me. Okay, see security lights out. You can see we have 2 keys programmed now. Now what I'm going to do is just like we did on our 2012, I want to program in the one they gave us, the one we have. So I'm going to go into program old key, do the same thing. So I'm going to take our newly programmed fob out, put our old ignition key back in. Ignition is on. Say OK. Okay, number of keys 3, beautiful. So if we say OK to that, and if we go back to number of keys, we now have 3 keys to this vehicle instead of 4. So that's beautiful. So once again, we were able to program in a set of these generic fobs, but more importantly, we were able to go in and delete the 3 other keys that could have started this vehicle that we have no idea where the whereabouts are at. Now, just to test something, what I'm going to do, you can see this is one of the generic fobs here because it doesn't have the Ram logo. I'm going to see if I can lock and unlock the doors. I don't know if you heard that. You heard all the lock cycle. Yep. Okay. I'm going to lock them again. Okay, beautiful. So that one's working. Let's try the next one. Okay. Now we'll lock it. We'll try our panic real quick. Okay, that works. I'm not going to try it on the other one because I don't want to freak the neighbors out, but we are good. Number of keys 3, beautiful. Okay, so let me move you off the tripod here, and I'll show you. I'm going to take the original ignition key out of the system. Now I'm going to exit the truck, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug the fuel pump relay back in, and then we'll come back and I'll show you the truck being started by one of these freshly programmed fobs. There was a comment that I think later got removed in my previous video where someone said, oh, he didn't show the truck starting on the new fob, LOL. Well, actually I did. It was towards the end of the video, but let me go ahead and get things prepped and I'll be right back. plug that bridge back in. Okay, so I've got the fuel pump bypass plugged back in. So we should be able to take again one of our keys here. And I got you, move you off the tripod. Show you I got the fob here. Into the ignition we go. Go ahead and turn it on, and I'll show you that little security light should go out, and it did. We should now be able to start. And there we go. Beautiful. Outstanding, that'll work. And I'll just go ahead and power it down. Now for giggles, just in case you're curious, this is the other fob, so just to show you here. That was the first one we just tried. I got the new one in my kind of palm right now. So this one I'm gonna set to the side because we just tried it. You should see that security light go out in the lower right, and it did. Beautiful. There you go. So once again, we used our DX tool, our D8, in order to facilitate this programming experience. Now, one thing to note on this Ram, since it is a 2012, we don't have a security gateway to attend with on this model. What that is on models, I think it was either 2017 and up or 2018 and up, one of the two. Chrysler implemented a secure gateway, and what that was meant to do was help protect the various CAN buses on the vehicle from basically being hacked into, somebody taking control of it, being able to come in here and easily program your own keys like we can on this one. And if that was the case and we needed to be able to program a set of keys with this tool, since this tool doesn't support authentication and I use auto auth for mine, but it doesn't support authentication to be able to validate that I am who I say I am, to be able to unlock the secure gateway, we would then have to utilize a bypass cable, which bypasses the secure gateway and would allow us to then proceed forward with the tool. But anyway, it's kind of getting off on a side tangent there, but just to let you know, FYI, this is a 2012, no secure gateway, and as you can see, just like on the 2009 Ram that we were dealing with, it was able to read the PIN code. We erased all the previous keys. We programmed 2 new fobs, and then we were also able to reprogram the one old existing fob that we had. So with that being said, this will be a little bit of a quick one for you. And if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. Again, continuing to try and grow the channel. We had tremendous growth last year, looking to carry that growth curve into this year and beyond. So if you haven't and you would please consider doing so, it would be greatly appreciated. Kind of helps us bring more content and will help us to bring additional content easier in the future. With that being said, I hope you found this useful, and I will bring you back for the next one. Thank you much. Bye. Real quick, I did say I would show this to you, so I wanted to show this to you. This is what we meant by battery maintainer, and I'll put a link in the description for this. But what this is I had this in power supply mode, so that way it would keep the voltage in the system at a constant, or I should say a consistent level during the programming attempts. So one thing you don't want to have happen if you're in the middle of any kind of programming or adjustment attempt, you definitely don't want your voltage to fluctuate and cause you a problem. But I'll put a link in the description because it works well as a power supply as well as a charger. And I'll bring you back for the next one. Thank you much. Bye.